What's good, y'all? SpazzoReactz back with another vid. Today we react to Hackle interview Masked Gorilla podcast. Now I can't wait to dive into this one. I'm gonna be real with you. That is really my twin. I know niggas usually say, "Yo, this is Hackle." They usually call me Hackle for whatever reason. Probably call me black nigga with dreads. I don't know, but yeah, bro, I can't wait to dive into this. Now, before we get to the vid, make sure you have it to the description. Go to the last link, click on it, put your number in. You'll sign for exclusive offers and deals from our merch drop. Anyway, and y'all better actually do it too. If you really fuck with me, do it, bro. But anyway, let's get to the vid.
Yo, what up? It's Roger from the Masked Gorilla podcast. We did it first. They did it worse. Remember, subscribe to Masked Gorilla on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, everywhere else for more interviews with your favorite emerging artists. We got a great episode. We got Hackle coming back for the solo pod. What's up?
What up, y'all? What up, Roger? We're here. We're in LA again. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
What, like 3 years now?
How long? What? We're in the year 2024. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's been like 2.5 years. February 2022 was the first podcast.
But so much shit has happened since then.
So much shit has happened.
So much. Been to like...
Bro, I'm surprised Hackle don't want to leave. I'm surprised he don't want to leave Haunted Mouth. Bro, if Cemetery is out here telling niggas' girlfriends, yo, I'm the one that gave your boyfriend a job, I'm surprised this nigga don't want to leave. Me personally, bro, if you're doing that, you're an L. Why would you say that? Come on now. Like, bro, do you really want to have your ego that boosted? Like, come on. I'm surprised this nigga's still here. Along with Buckshot in them. What exactly is going on? Is he the one that's paying them or some shit? Are they in, like, do they have a contract? Why did he leave? I ain't gonna lie. Cemetery, he has he has L characteristics. Music still fire. But bro, it don't seem like he's a good person. Like, going off of what Turnabout Gonnerville said, as if they lied. Now if they lied, I don't know. But yeah, shit crazy. I'm surprised he's still here.
Every corner of the world. Did what, like 100+ shows? Fucking
played Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, fucking Red Rocks. Sold out tours. So much merch. More music.
Put out another project. You had your own solo. So much has happened, and we're gonna get into that.
So much. Oh my God. It's crazy being back here.
Yeah, the first interview with you and Cemetery, and it's going to be really hard to say your stage name and not your real name.
Oh, yeah, because we're so much closer now.
Yeah, but the first one with you and...
I really do wonder what his real name is.
Cemetery, way back when, like, we met over the phone, maybe a FaceTime, like...
Yeah.
Maybe like a few months before-ish. And then you...
I'm going to manifest it now, bro. I'm going to be on this podcast. I'm manifesting it right now. I'm going to be on this podcast. That might be a delusion, but fuck it. I know I'm going to be on this podcast. I have to be. Bro, come on.
You came down for the podcast, and it was the first interview. There was so much lore to unpack.
Yeah.
The fans have been wanting a solo one with you since then.
Yeah, crazy.
You were a little bit more quiet, reserved.
I didn't have much to say. Nothing happened.
But it's like the first interview too. So like, there was a lot in your brain of how you wanted to be seen and
definitely
portrayed. And now you're wearing SpongeBob hats on the internet.
SpongeBob hats, yep. SpongeBob merch. And it's crazy, dude. So much shit had just happened. It's crazy being back in this room because first time we were here, like, we didn't even do a show. We didn't have a single show. All we did, we were just online, just like selling merch and planning for the future. But now, like, we're there now.
It felt like even then, too, the idea of a show for you guys felt so far away.
That sounded like
how do I do it? It seems impossible.
It sounded impossible, and it was impossible when we tried to do it. Like, it was a lot of work, like, to get to where we're at now.
So we're going to get into all of that. I want to start from the beginning again. You're 23?
Yeah, 23.
You're
24.
Damn, dude is young. And I was thinking, that he was sick. Like, I thought he was old. I'm thinking Turnabout is grown. Bro, we almost about the same age. Shit's crazy.
In October.
you are turned 24. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in San Jose, California, Bay Area, like South Bay. I was born there. I moved out to Modesto with my family for like probably like 4 years when I was like a baby, a little kid. And then I moved back to San Jose, went to high school there. All right, middle school, high school. I think it was junior year is when I moved out to Sacramento, and I lived there since. Just been around that area.
Why was your family switching spots so frequently?
Just like my parents were hella young. Like my mom was 18 when she had me.
Oh wow.
So like that we like moved like to my aunt's house like in Modesto, and then like she got her bag up. My parents got their bag up, and we moved back to San Jose. It was still a little hard when we lived in San Jose, but like they figured it out. We were living like a tiny ass, like a small duplex in San Jose, and then Sacramento in 2016 the houses were like super cheap out there, so my parents were able to like buy a house out there, and it was like cheaper to live out there than to live in San Jose. And like it was a crazy difference because like my whole life I lived in like a tiny ass duplex, like tiny ass house, shared a room with my sister, and then like I moved to Sacramento, and then we basically have like a mansion. Like it's just crazy. It's wild. And
you were the firstborn?
Yeah, I have a sister she's 18. She just turned 18, but firstborn. Yeah, no other siblings, not at all.
And what's she up to now? I would imagine she's headed to a career, college, something.
She just graduated high school, and she's got her first job actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. That's incredible.
Well, I guess not her first job. She like
her first career sort of.
Yeah, first like actual like outside of like
part-time whatever job as a kid.
But she actually like she did all the merch. Back when we were shipping it out. Like honestly, like I barely even touched the shirts. Like it was mostly like her and her friends. I kind of just like supervised the whole thing, made sure it got to like the.
You had that shit running.
Had
like
it running.
A well-oiled machine.
It was. I had
shout
it
out to
running.
your sister and all her friends because
big shout out.
They were running through thousands and thousands and thousands of orders every drop.
Thousands of shirts. They packaged so many shirts, and like without them, we.
Damn, that's inspiring me. I definitely, bro. Just wait, man. I'm definitely gonna be doing this shit.
Probably wouldn't even be sitting here right now.
No.
Like, we wouldn't be able to fund a tour or anything. So it's a big shout out to my sister and all of her friends because they went crazy with those. Like, big shout out to them.
Big shout
out. Now she's working over at somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. We don't have to say. So as a child, you're moving around a bit, all in the general same area, right?
Yeah.
Your parents are young. They're working. What do they do now?
My mom, she works for like a big utility company in California.
Today is Friday, ain't it? Damn. Today is Friday. I tell you, bro, time goes by fast. Shit, crazy.
You know, like PG&E.
Yeah.
So she works for them. She's just like on the phones all the time. And then my dad, he drives like oil. Like he drives a big old like oil trucks.
Oh,
from,
shit.
like, I don't know, from place to place, but he drives those. And that's what they do now. And it's fire because like now my parents are like making good money. And like it's like cool to like see them like get whatever they want and like do whatever they want now. Because like growing up, like we didn't like do shit, but now like they can go on vacation and shit like that.
And they're still somewhat young.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and like they have like cool ass cars now. Like
hell yeah, dude. That's
I remember like growing up, like we had like one car.
Mm-hmm.
Shit would be like breaking down if that shit broke down. We didn't have a car, or like we would have two. Like one was barely working, one was working. Like so, it's hella fire to like see my dad like in a Tesla and see my mom in like a fucking Jeep Wrangler.
Bro, I always wanted a Tesla, and I still do. Teslas, I feel like that's just like a rich person car. Like I never well, when I was little, I used to want Lamborghinis. I don't know why. I thought it just looked cool because the door could fly up. But, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Even though I don't drive anymore, I want a Tesla. There's something about it. I just want a Tesla. Probably because it could drive by itself. Time's just crazy.
Like brand new ones. It's sick.
Tesla and the
Wrangler so far.
Sick.
It's so far.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So like moving around as a child, was it hard to make friends? Like, what was school like for you if you were, here and there?
Honestly, no, it wasn't hard to make friends, nothing like that. Like, honestly, moving around a lot when I was a kid kind of like helped me now, because like now I can just like live wherever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get like too attached to a house. Like, whenever I move, it's just like, oh, that was just where I was living at the time. Like, I'm not like, oh shoot, like, oh, I miss that house so much. Like, a house is just a house. Like, it's I can live like anywhere if there's a fucking bed and a Xbox or my laptop, straight up.
What were you up to in like high school? Were you playing sports? Were
High
you
school?
a solid student? Were you skipping class? What were you like then?
High school, I played football all 4 years.
Oh, sick.
Played defensive end.
Damn.
So I did that from like summer to like winter, like whenever the football season ended, like November, December. And then after that, we were just like kicking it all the time. Like, I was always able to finesse in school. Like, I was never like good in school. Like, I wasn't like smart, but I was able to like get by, like just by like finessing and cheating.
I feel like
shit.
you might have been one of the kids, and I was this kid. I was a little smart in school. I'll say that. But I was also the kid who would like stay after class and speak to the teacher and be like, man, I only got this on the test. If you could just give me a few extra points, I feel like you had that vibe probably.
Over there begging? No, I was never.
Y'all was begging teachers. I ain't gonna lie. I can't relate. Bro, I had all A's senior year. All A's. I was really the GOAT. Like, I remember back in junior year though. Oh yeah, I was definitely using photo math, PDFs. Bro, only the real ones know about the PDFs. Y'all might be like, what are the PDFs? Bro, back in junior year, I used to be on this, I used to be in this math class. And some of the answers I didn't know. I swear, bro, teachers are the laziest people ever. And I don't blame them. But teachers, they could be the laziest people ever. Go ahead, if you got homework right now, and it's like algebra or some shit, whatever, type in this title of the, all the details on that paper, the title of the paper, of the problems that you're gonna do. And bro, you're gonna see PDFs come up, and this is gonna have the answers on it. I'm telling you, bro, teachers could be one of the most laziest people ever, because they don't feel like doing their job neither. It's the truth. I was definitely using PDFs and shit. Easiest time ever.
I was never begging.
It wasn't begging. It was negotiating, bro. I was negotiating. I'm a businessman. Okay.
I would just be copying off my classmates and shit. Like, or like pull up to class, not do the homework, and just like right when they're like about to check that shit, just like hit it real fast.
I used to steal math tests from the math office, and then I would have, I think I've said this on the podcast, this is probably embarrassing to admit now as an adult, but I would photocopy it, have the smart kid fill it out for me, then I would transfer over the answers on the original, and then in the middle of the test, I'd do the old switcheroo.
That's a crazy method. I wasn't that smart.
It was a crazy method. I was scheming.
Whenever, in English too.
Damn, these niggas was really trying to get by. That shit crazy.
Like, whenever I didn't want to write a paper, I found like this weird like Russian website, or like these like Russian fools would like write your paper for you. And like I didn't have that much money, so like I couldn't like afford like the high school level papers. So like
fucking broken English.
Yeah, I would get like the middle school level ones, but that shit, bro, them shits gave me like A's every time.
Wow.
I bought so many papers like that. You just give them the prompt and like tell them what it's like on or whatever, or like what book.
The
or
original AI was just
someone actually like
Russians
going
in a warehouse.
Yeah, they were going crazy, and I never got caught doing that. And like, it was just fire. It was probably like $30 a paper.
Damn,
damn, I gotta start writing papers, bro. You know how much money that could make you, bro? $30 a paper. I ain't gonna lie, writing papers is kind of easy for me. Well, kinda. Maybe back then. Now, bro, I feel like my mind is on some different shit. Like, my mind is kind of weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. My mind isn't like all the way there, I guess. Like, my mind is kind of delayed. I don't know. Like, some of the words I can't even think of. I'll be trying to write this shit, and I look back at it. I'm like, bro, what the fuck am I even talking about? Crazy. Times really do change.
Which was
expensive as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid it was a lot, but like I'd rather spend that than like have to sit there for hours and I would do that shit like damn near the night before, which was crazy.
Dude, that's the method. I tried that once in French class. And I got the test beforehand. I brought it home. I put it through a translator, and immediately they were like, "This is so advanced, and you don't know any of this.
Yeah.
We know exactly what you did." I was like, "I don't fucking."
They definitely
care,
knew your
whatever.
ass was cheating.
Yeah, I was like, "Whatever, I don't fucking care."
In language class, bro, that shit was like,
Oui.
bro, like, I would always copy because in San Jose, there's a lot of Mexican people, and their asses would be lying, talking about I don't know how to speak Spanish, and be in the regular Spanish class with the rest of us. And I already knew. I'd be like, this fool's my boy. He speaks fluent Spanish. Like, why is this fool next to me? I don't know anything.
In English, Spanish speaking home.
So I would copy off of them, but like the teachers would like find out I was copying and move me to like someone like who doesn't speak English. You know what I mean? Next to someone who doesn't speak Spanish. And then like on the test, I shouldn't have passed Spanish, honestly. Because I'd be like on the test, I would just like write the question again, like in like different, like in a different format. Like if I don't know, I'll just write the words in a different order, and somehow I passed, bro. She was definitely just like seeing my papers and was like, "Oh, this was an idiot."
Or it's like
at least he's trying.
Yeah, like he's at least trying. Like he wants to pass, even though he's not studying.
Nah, bro, that Spanish was hard. I hate it. I don't even know why they make us do that still.
It makes sense in California. Me in a French class in New York makes no sense.
That makes zero sense.
I wish I spoke Spanish now, and I tried over the pandemic on that app to learn, and it didn't really like, work. I think my brain's too
like Babbel or something.
A Duolingo.
Like okay, yeah.
Where it's like the boy ate the apple.
Yeah,
and I don't know how to say that. And 2 years ago, maybe I did, but not anymore.
Man. But yeah, no, in school, like I was able to get by. I was never like stupid. I passed all my classes. Like
you were playing football. Were you like watching pro football? Were you like a fan of the Niners
honestly,
at all? Or
no. I never really. I watched like pro football when I was a kid, like with my dad.
Yeah,
because he's a Bears fan. And
right.
You're a Packers fan.
I'm a big. My entire family back to the '60s, the Green Bay Packers, and you're a Bears fan. We have beef about
big
that.
beef.
It's actually not beef because the Bears suck and the Packers
they do
so
suck.
There's not really any.
But yeah, no, I didn't really watch it much. Like only when I was a kid. I remember they played the Colts in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
they played the Colts in the Super Bowl, and that was like the first time I ever seen like my dad like that sad is when they lost.
Peyton Manning. I think they started the second half.
They had like Devin Hester and shit
or something.
Devin Hester ran back.
Ran it back.
Yeah, he ran it back. Yeah, that was a crazy time. But we went out to San Jose to go watch. I think we were living in Modesto at the time. But yeah, my dad was hella sad about that. But I never really cared for football. Football's kind of like boring. Or I didn't care to watch it. Yeah. Like, it was just like boring to watch.
I'm saying, see, me and Hackle can relate. Bro, I'm telling you, I do not like watching sports. The first time I watched a basketball game was when I was in Houston. And it wasn't even that bad. But football is so boring. I'm gonna be real. The only football I can do is me playing the game or me actually playing with somebody outside. Other than that, bro, football's boring. I don't know how people watch that shit. It's so crazy to me.
But like I watched like the Super Bowl.
And you were into UFC at that time, or is that earlier?
Yeah,
oh yeah, UFC 5. I love boxing, UFC. That shit 5.
Always watch UFC. My dad put me on. We always watched it back when they did like the crazy super like the sick ass like intro when it was like the Face the Pain song and shit. Like when it was like hella like almost like DIY, but like it was crazy. It was a cool time. Like Rampage Jackson,
like fucking Affliction.
Yeah, they're all wearing like Affliction and shit, and like back when it was like Rampage Jackson and like Chuck Liddell and like Anderson Silva, all them.
Oh, I know about Anderson Silva. I used to always use him back on UFC, and it'll be the demo version. Only the real ones know. And
that was like a crazy time, and John Jones was coming up too.
Wow.
John Jones. I think I had a toy of him or some shit.
Oh, legend.
It was a cool ass time,
dude. Yeah. I think I forgot to tell you, I saw that fool in the airport in LA. Who's the guy from up where you're from? It's him and his brother.
Uriah Faber? Or
no, he's like super fried and like he speaks like he can't speak anymore.
Oh, Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz. Nick Diaz.
I saw him.
You seen him?
Had his shades on. It's like a smaller airport where I live. And we walked by each other and I looked at him and he looked at me. And I was with my wife and I was like, I think that's that guy from the UFC.
Yeah.
Like he's always on my feed. And she was like, why? And he was alone.
Yeah.
And she was like, why would he be here? And then I kid you not, 30 seconds later, like I hear, excuse me, Mr. Nathan Diaz, you need to report to your I was like, holy shit.
That's hella funny. I've seen him.
Crazy.
I've seen him a few times at the fights because I go to like the local MMA fights, the pro fights, like up in Sacramento and shit.
Because he's from
Stockton,
right?
And I've been to one in Stockton. He was there. He has like his Diaz Academy out there. He has all the fighters out there, and it's kind of funny. They all fight the same. But yeah, he's big out there. He's big, especially in Stockton. He's like the most famous person in Stockton. Like it's crazy.
Were you fighting? Were you like in any UFC classes in high school, or that's like a later in life thing?
Yeah, that was like later in life. That was like 2021 when I started like training.
Got it.
Because at first I was like, I was always a fan. Like I was always a fan of UFC, and then like probably when I was like 20, like 19, 20 is when I got really into it. When I got turned into like a nerd. Yeah, and I was like, well, I can probably train that. Like
every green room wherever, and we have the fight on for you.
Yeah, every green room all the time. Whenever it's a Saturday, we're watching UFC. When we were in New York the last show, I was watching UFC 300. That was a crazy night.
Or I think even at the Affliction headquarters that night, it was on somewhere.
Yeah, we were watching at the Affliction show. We were backstage watching it. Anytime it's a Saturday and there's fights, we watch it.
That is a full circle moment right there.
Yeah.
So you graduate high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to college? What happened after that?
So I graduated high school, and then I went straight to college. Went to Sac State, and then I was only there for a bit, and then I went to the Los Rios Community College out in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. There's like CRC, there's like ARC, and then there's like there's a bunch of them, but they're all connected. So you can go to you can have classes in each one, and I mostly went to CRC, and then like when COVID happened, it was like all online, and then I would do classes from each one, like whatever classes I needed.
It's so weird to think that you were in school in COVID and it's actually weird that you're so young.
Yeah.
Because you are such like a mature, you run this whole thing, and it's like, damn, he's 23 still?
It's pretty crazy.
I'm like, oh, he's probably like, I mean, I know how old you are, but in my brain, I'm like, he's like 28. Like, God damn, dude, he's 20 fucking 30. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how I do it.
And you're not like a big drug guy, right? Do you smoke weed?
Like it's kind of rare. Like I always have like the disposables,
right?
Like the or like the Stizzy carts or whatever, and I'll like hit that like at night. Like if I'm in bed, I'm just like watching a movie or watching YouTube videos or some shit. I'll hit
like
that.
A way to fall asleep.
Yeah, a way to fall asleep. But like I can't like smoke weed during the day.
You're like not a weed guy. You don't really experiment with drugs. Were you in high school? Were like you drinking or smoking weed? Like
high school, we were definitely smoking a lot of weed.
Okay.
It was just like new and fun. We would drink and stuff. We'd go like steal bottles out the grocery stores and shit and go drink.
It's so fun. It's so fucking
go
fun.
Do all that. But I was never really. I've always been like hella like scared to like try new drugs. Like I've never done coke or like Molly
bro.
Or like.
I have so much anxiety that I can't wrap my head around like losing control, and who knows what can happen.
Exactly. Never done like acid, never done like ketamine. Like I'm like hella scared of that shit. Like because
bro, I remember when I wanted to try acid, bro. There was this girl named what was her name? Gertie. I ain't gonna lie, I was definitely trying to fuck. But anyway, right? Boom. Gertie, she used to date my G. Back in middle school, and they broke up or something. I ain't gonna lie, I was not the best friend, like, cause, bro, like, it's like I'll be trying to fuck my G's exes, like, what's going on? I had no loyalty, but yeah, bro. So boom, she said shit. She had acid. I'm like, bro, I gotta try that shit. Like, I don't know why I was trying hallucinogens and shit. I don't know why. Shit crazy. But now I get the same. It's like I get the same effects that the hallucinogens give me. So what a nigga would see while taking acid, I already see that shit on my day to day. Because of my symptoms and shit of my mental disorder.
Smoking weed, like getting too high, is already scary.
Dude, I hate that shit.
That shit
I
is
fucking
so
can't
scary.
smoke because of that.
It is so scary. Like, I don't know. I can't do it. I'll probably never do coke. I would never do like Molly, any of that shit.
Fuck that.
I don't really like care to find out.
Shout out to everyone who can smoke weed because it seems incredible, and I wish I could. But I can't.
I wish, because I like on tour, fools just be smoking like just casually throughout the day, and like it's so available, especially in California. I wish I could just like do that all the time, but like,
and it's like a mellow drug, and it's.
If I were to smoke weed right now, I'd just stop talking and just be staring at you while you talk.
I would be like, I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, like call my mom right now.
So, what kind of music were you listening to in this era, like high school, early college? Like, where were you like a SoundCloud rap kid?
So like, I was like listening to all that at the time. Like 8th grade, like is like when I like found it was like Sesh Hollow, Waterboys, like Bones, Xavier Wolf, and
Eddie Baker.
Eddie Baker. I didn't really tap in with Eddie Baker too much, but and Chris Travis. Chris Travis was like, I was a big Chris Travis fan. Like I was a huge fan of him.
Yeah.
And he made that. I remember like the first song was like that I heard. It was what was it? It was like World Pain or some shit like that. It was fire though. And from there, that's when I like found everyone. I found shortly after that, I found Divine Council out of Virginia.
Dude, that's legendary.
Yeah, like SpazzoReactz, Lord Linko, and Silk Money. And who was the other? Icy Twat.
Right, legends.
And I was a big SpazzoReactz fan and Lord Linko fan, so I would listen to them all the time. And then I would see who was like featured on their song, and from there, that's where I found Cray. And this is all like around the same. I was just like, it was all new, and I was like,
were you like? I know Cemetery was like a Mascarilla kid. Were you at all, or it just wasn't?
I knew of you. Okay. I like seen the videos, but I was never like a.
You weren't like
I was like on it all the time.
Yeah,
now, like just like around that time, I was mostly just on
spot.
Yeah, you did put me on the spot.
Like, yeah, I think I knew you.
Yeah, I knew of you. But it's crazy to be in here still. But yeah, like I would just be on the internet, just like finding new music. It would straight up just be like listen to a song and seeing who's featured, and then go on that person who was featured, and then like listen to their music, see who's featured in that. And yeah, it went from like Sesh Hollow to shortly to Divine Council, then the Cray, and then Cray is like, I was a huge fan. Like I'm still a huge fan. Yeah. I'm like huge fan of Cray, and all of the work that he's come out with, like, is just like so fire to me.
Legend.
And who else after that? I like Polari. Polari was fire. Kevin Polari, he was sick.
I heard that name.
Yeah, he made a song with Cray back then called Funds, and that was like my favorite shit ever. And I was a big Polari fan and big Cray fan. And Divine Council, I kind of wish they would have went further with it, but it's whatever. Same thing with I don't know what Polari's up to nowadays, but he was fire. I used to hella fuck with Polari.
Were you hitting up any shows? I'm trying to, that era, probably people weren't heavily touring. Were you?
Fools were not doing shows back then. The only show that there was a show in Oakland, a Goth Money show, and it was hosted by FTP.
Wow.
And they sold like this rare ass FTP Goth Money collab shirt at the show. And like that shirt is still like, if anyone has that for sale, like I would still buy that shit. I don't even like care how much it costs.
It's got to be somewhere.
Yeah. And it's funny though. It's funny. I found a kid who had that shirt, and I hit him up, and I was DMing him like, yo, like I want to buy that shirt, whatever. And he never like responded. And then I went to a show out here in LA. I think it was like Tracy. It was Tracy and Cray show when I met Cray. Some kid comes up to me. He's like, yo, bro, Hackle, look. And he like shows me his DMs, and it's me hitting him up for the shirt.
You're like, bro, where's the shirt?
And I was like, bro, where's the shirt then? Like, do you have why are you showing me this? Like, do you have the shirt for me now? Like, why are you even showing me this bullshit? But yeah, I was just always just on SoundCloud, just finding new shit, YouTube, all that.
Dude, I like recently cleaned out some of my office. And I never sell anything, but my wife was selling some stuff online, like old fucking vintage clothes. I was like, I have some old shirts. And I never wore them. And they're from like 2019.
Like what shirts?
I don't want to say the acts because I don't want them to be like, damn, dude, you sell my shirt?
Okay.
And it was just like one act. It was someone who was on the podcast. You can figure it out with that. And it was actually really hard to sell because they were so unworn that everyone thought they were fake.
Fake, yeah.
And I wasn't a part of it at all. And this is just like 3 shirts. And eventually my wife was like, if this kid's asking so many questions, like, how'd you get it? Is it fake? How is it still? So I was like, just I'll let him know that it's mine. Yeah. And he's like, oh, okay, sick.
And then he bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for so cheap.
Yeah.
And like, because it's so hard to prove. Because, so at what point did you start making music? Burlapper 2020.
That was like some like later shit. Like I was always just like on my computer, just like fucking around, trying to sound like people that I like. Yeah. And just like figuring it out. But like it was never like went anywhere, obviously. It was never like it was mostly just like with my friends, just like kicking it in the garage, just like doing shit. And then like Burlapper, that shit I made, that was like 2020.
I see Burlap and Hunted Down are what the internet lets me know exists. I'm sure there's more.
That was the only 2 that ever came out on there, which is crazy that they found that, because that was like, bro, that account had like 100 followers or something like that, and it probably had like 1,000. It's crazy how they
unreal.
It's like it's insane how they found that. But I don't know. I was just like bored and just like made that shit.
So, what was the influence for that style, for those songs?
Cemetery. Like,
so you were already a fan.
Yeah, I was already a fan.
And how'd you find him?
I found him same way. Just on I was on SoundCloud, and you know when you listen, whenever like a playlist ends or whatever, and it'll start playing some random shit. One of his songs came on, and I was like, damn, this is crazy. And I looked, and this fool had like, it was like nothing. He had like probably like 1,000 something followers. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. And then I hella fucked with those songs, and I like looked. I went through all of his shit. It was all pretty fire, and just like followed around that time. And then like,
so what year was that?
That was 20 when I found Cemetery was 2020.
Wow.
And that we like, I'd hit him up. It was 2021, I believe, early 2021. Pretty sure. I forget when it was. It was like during. I know it was during COVID because it was like weird to like link up. Like it was like, are you vaccinated? Like, because it was like, yo, like my parents are like tripping about like it was. I remember that because it was around that time, and but yeah, and we just like linked up and we were like had hella in common because like the shit that we like. The shit we both liked was like so niche that it was like crazy. Like it was just like instant friends.
So you were a fan of this relatively unknown artist at the time. I guess by 2021, maybe the profile started to grow a bit, but still, compared to now, it's so new.
Yeah.
And do you remember how you hit him up or what you said? Or
he had posted because I knew he was in the area because in the music videos there is hella like shit that was like, oh, that's here. That's like in Sacramento. That's like near where we live in Sacramento. Right. And so I always knew he was around that area. And then like he posted some shit like, yo, I need help with like videos or whatever. So then I like tapped in and we lived hella close to each other. So we just like linked up. And then like, remember we linked up on J Street downtown, Sac, and we just like walked around. We were just going to link up and then just like say what's up and like dip out. But we like hung out for like 2 hours, just like walking around, just like talking about all the shit that we fuck with. And there's just like so many like rare like connections that like were like things that we both like that it was just like, yo, what the fuck? We got to be friends. Like he knew of songs that like no one knows of. That
was he already living alone or no?
No, he was living at his parents' house.
So
I was also at my parents' house too.
Your very first impression of, oh, this is like a rapper that you're a fan of, but you know, it's like a smaller rapper. When you saw him in the flesh for the first time, like what was your impression?
I don't know. I wasn't like starstruck. I wasn't like
normal.
Just normal. Yeah, I wasn't like, oh shit, Cemetery. It was just like, oh, what up, bro? Yeah. Because like you're just like me. Like
you're like almost on
working a job too. Yeah. So it wasn't like.
It's not like you were meeting Cray or something. It's like,
nah, it feels
Cray. It's like you guys are. He's like a little bit more advanced in his career, little, but you're in the same sort of spot. And
we're like in the
same age.
Yeah,
right?
we're the exact same spot in life. So it wasn't like crazy or nothing.
You mentioned you were working a job.
Yeah, I was working. I was delivering pizza at Round Table in the Pocket area of Sacramento, and just like whipping around, dropping off pizzas.
Did you like the pizza?
Bro, that shit was fire. Okay. I ate that shit every fucking day.
I bet you did.
Bro, around that time I got so fat because like there'd just be pizza everywhere, and like
Yeah.
we working like 8-9 hour shifts, and like bro, I'm not gonna leave and go eat something else. I'll just eat the pizza.
Yeah.
And I love that shit, bro. That shit was fire.
Was that
Or
your
like-
first job or
Nah,
like
nah.
how many, what's like the history of all the odd?
History of jobs. Let's see. So my first ever job, I worked at El Pollo. I was 17, and I worked at El Pollo Loco for 3 weeks, and 2 of the weeks was training because
How they do that shit.
it was a new store, and like I was hella money hungry. I was like, dude, I need to get a job. Like I want to get this and that and all this. So I finally got. It took me hella long to get a job. Finally got a job, and it was at this new store at this area called Delta Shores. It's a big ass like shopping center. There's hella shit there now, but when they were opening, it was only a movie theater and In-N-Out and that El Pollo Loco. And it was all brand new, so everyone was going there. So I did the training for 2 weeks, and then the first week was like the opening week.
And it was just
And it was hell because people would go to the movies and then go to In-N-Out, or go to the movies, go to In-N-Out, and then get something to eat, or they go to In-N-Out, and they would, because this was the first In-N-Out in that area.
Oh, it'd be a crazy line.
It was
They'd be
a
like, "Screw
crazy
this, I'm gonna
fucking
go to
line.
El-"
Yeah, it was a crazy fucking line outside of In-N-Out, and then they go at El Pollo Loco, and it's like equally as crazy
That's
now.
a mob.
So it was insane. And it was so fucked up, bro. That shit was awful.
And what were you doing? Were you at the register?
Bro, I
Were
was
you
at
in
the fucking.
back?
I was at the what is it called?
The spit.
No, at the window, the drive-through,
Oh my
drive-through.
God, that's
Bro,
crazy.
it was terrible, and fools are just like wow.
People were probably so mean to you.
Bro, they're hella mean. And at a certain point, I was just like, bro, I don't even care about this job. I remember one time this one dude pulled up, and this fool was like, I was already having a badass day, probably like my 4th day or some shit. There was no one. Bro, I had to take the order in the headset, and I had to get the order ready, and then make sure the money comes in from the window over here, because there's one window. Had to do all this. Anyways, this one dude came up like complaining, talking about you need to work on your customer service. This fool pulls up to the window, hella mad. I was like, bro, you really think I give a fuck about this job, bro? Like, I don't care about this shit. Like, I'm not gonna work on shit for you. Like, take your fucking food. And like, he got hella mad and drove off. And I only worked there for a couple days after that. Like, and I remember.
Did you quit or
Bro,
you got fired?
No, I quit, bro. I remember one day, because one day I was like, yeah, I'm not even finna pull up to this shit. Fuck this shit. And I just didn't go. So they didn't have someone at the drive-thru. I just didn't go. And I remember my manager, he was like, are you coming in today? I was just like, fuck this dude. I just didn't respond. And then like he hit me up one day and he's like, are you resigning? And I was like, motherfucker, yeah, I'm quitting.
You're like,
fuck out of here.
You were like resigning.
Yeah.
Not coming back.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I got a one check from this place.
That's so real, bro. I remember when I used to be working at McDonald's. I was only there for like 3 days. Then I stopped coming. And then the manager hit me up. She was like, so I'm gonna assume this is your way of quitting or some shit like that. And I said yes. Bro, I fucking hated McDonald's. God. Horrible.
That shit was trash. Anyways, from there, I went over to it was Pyology. It's a pizza place, the Subway style pizza.
Yeah. But yeah, y'all, we finna end this right here. Y'all, let me know if y'all want a part 2. I'll give y'all that part 2. But anyway, y'all, that's the end of the vid. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Without further ado, peace, y'all.